We smile and wave. So how are you guys? I hope everything is fine with you, because everything is just fine with me, because finally in the last 2 weeks on our screens, but about this Minecraft version 1.1980.20. To be honest, I've already managed to get some spoilers, which moments I'm already holding with the last of my strength, so that I don't unpack it all and look at how it looks with our Bedriki. Therefore, as they say, let's at least have one eye. Well, as they say, welcome to our new beta. In the new Cherry beta of Minecraft version 1.1980.20, which brought us just a whole bunch of new interesting blocks, very strange incomprehensible crafts, and of course a new simply awesome cherry biome with these strange trees and pink flowers. Anyway, and how does it all work? This is the fact that, to my great surprise, this new cherry biome turns out to be a mountain biome and at the same time, for some reason, does not hesitate to sleep near the snow-capped peaks, even though it is as warm as possible, which already seems to completely contradict my Minecraft logic. Because the funny thing is that if we go to these internets of yours right now, we will find out that the cherry turns out to be a very strange tree in itself, because firstly, it cannot grow in the mountains. Okay, we've already learned that. Secondly, it tolerates hunger to -40. And what's going on anyway? Speaking of the cherry tree, the fact is that of course, since it just so happened, and then the cherry tree is the most common tree of our Minecraft, well, practically I would say. That is, it can be crafted and the most familiar things for us. And of course I'm talking about cherry boards, steps, half blocks, cherry fences, gates, and of course the new awesome cherry hatch doors, where cherry buttons, cherry pressure plates and of course cherry plaques, both ordinary and hanging, are connected. And of course, how can there be no cherry boats here, both ordinary and chest boats? But if we take and stuff a cherry seedling into a pot, then we will notice that it looks very much like Sakura, which I really like very much. Well, that's not all guys. The fact is that if we now take this cherry blossom here in this way, then we will be able to craft a cougar from it calmly. Pink dye. Here is such a thing in our game. What can I say? After all, yes, just like that, welcome to the desert. After all, the scammers didn't do anything from archaeology for 2 whole weeks, so today they really tried. And it would seem that it is probably better to start than with this brush, because it also has its own changes, but not this time. The thing is, guys, let's start with the suspicious sand. What was understood in the new one in this version 1980.20 Mojangs really tried to change the suspicious episode, and now if you clear it, firstly, as you can see, objects from this suspicious sand immediately begin to appear, and now it does not disappear, but just takes and turns in the same way in Minecraft in the most ordinary sand. Therefore, let's clear another one of this striped sand. What will we get out of it? Let's find out right now. Sort of. Well, if you're serious and without any jokes, it was visual sand, really very much corrected. The rice is not even that ordinary sand is falling from it now, but that a lot of bugs related to suspicious sand have been fixed, and now suspicious sand cannot be swamped, that is, it is impossible to see water from it, which was quite strange in past Minecraft betas. So now if you move the suspicious sand with a piston, it will be destroyed correctly, particles and various sounds will fall from it, which is very cool. But also now you can safely take a suspicious sand and connect some kind of fence, and all this will work and it will not be considered some kind of non-lock. It's really cool that now it's quite real, so it can work in our Minecraft, so just clearing, and that's how it means. And of course, at the same time, it is worth answering that the pots were changed quite a lot, made them more Jalovsky, just added a small neck like this on the top of our pot. And you know, now the pot is no longer like a pot at all, and Borea is probably some kind of jug. This was done because so many players complained that it was not like a pot, but it all looks very strange, but now it really got better. Well, crafting has not changed at all, so we just cut our workbench and start crafting our pots, adding pieces, fragments of our ceramics. This is how we get the most ordinary standard decorated pot, which we can calmly take everything and put it in the right place for us, for example, here in this way. Well, actually, what else happened to these pots that you guys understood? Now the pots do not stack in your amber, that is, you can calmly get this pot, you can get this standard empty pot and it will just empty next to you in amber, and if you try to connect them together, then you will not succeed. That's the thing. And of course at the same time that you guys understood, the changes by squeezing pots are not taken at all, because there are some changes with a brush. The fact is that we have completely changed the crafting brushes in our bed. The fact is that now the brush is being crafted as follows. You take a stick, take a piece of copper ingot and take a feather, and thus you craft the most common brush for us, just like on Java, with which, by the way, you can go and extract our suspicious sand. Which, as it were, is no longer here. But in any case, that's about how it works now. Just moving on. After all, these are mobs, or if even a little more precisely, it is camels. And the fact is that there is one very strange incomprehensible change with camels and that you guys understood, fixed the tank, which you should not have fixed. The fact is that I'm just now putting a screenshot, fixed a bug when camels could jump into a boat and run endlessly in it. And it worked the same way with the trolley. But there is one problem. The fact is that no matter how long it has not worked in our Bedrock, or even what they understood, it does not work. But since version probably 1.1950, how long has it been? Probably 2 months, and the scammers write that they fixed this tank right now. What's going on? Are you serious at all? Well, okay with these camels, so now it's impossible to stuff a polar bear, a big ogre, or a spider into the boat. That's it. Because they're bigger than a boat. How's that for you, huh? Just moving on. After all, what did you guys understand? Although a big fan of cheerful, but in places Machiji do such strange things that I don't even know what to say. Take, for example, the very sneaking when you were allowed to walk a block and a half high. Did you realize that they decided to remove him today? That is, it's not like you decided to just cut out of the official game and transfer it to experimental buns with everyone. If you turn on this slider, you will be able to calmly pass right here, calmly to yourself in this way, as if in the same way before. But if you turn it off, it won't work anymore. That is. But they wrote that it needs to be fixed and, in general, optimized. Seriously, what the fuck are we? In fact, the golem and the great guys, and while you're not in survival mode, as long as you don't touch them. But if you do touch him, then... Well, seriously, guys, then again, I don't even know what to say, after all. After all, for the entire existence of our Bedrock, we finally had an Opupesny screen of death and just look again. If you die now, no matter where, you'll see in the lava. But she writes you died and decides to swim in the lava, and that's such a huge button to be reborn. It looks a lot cooler than what it was before. I think many will agree with me. Similarly, we can take, for example, dynamite and proper. Oh, yeah, me. I don't need a flint, right? What? So it will obviously be much better. In any case, we again get this awesome rebirth button. So just pam the stop and for example, let's go from a great height. So just remember, in general, just look at the guys, it looks incredibly cool. Why didn't this happen before? Why is it added only now? It's true that there is still a lack of experience scale, as on Java, but in any case, I think many will agree with me that this is what we need, in short, run to try. Well, as they say, just moving on and on, we are waiting for as many as 6 items of our listing, in which there are no changes at all, but they just have to be in this issue. I am now talking about the block, gameplay, overall stability, performance, touch control and user interface. To understand guys, you can only mark the same blocks here, for example, because flowers will now immediately be displayed in pots. If you shove it there, it is a mango, bamboo, and polished buttons will not be displayed on maps. And in general, the sounds of the fire will now be a little louder, the sounds of the cave will no longer be played when teleporting through the Ender portal. Are you even serious now? Gameplay changes. To be precise, there is also a very large list of all sorts of fixes, changes, but this is not interesting to us at all, because most likely you just won't even notice them, unless it's this weird thing. For some reason, all the enchanted objects of our creativity have become not enchanted. Don't they shine or something? What exactly happened to you? Probably, with the president. The fact is that now in the settings, or to be precise, it is in the special features that two new sliders have appeared, and these are the power of flickering and the speed of flickering. What did you understand? If you unscrew it all this way to the maximum, then it will be about this way. And if you turn everything off to a minimum, then, as it were, everything will cease to be enchanted. That is, such a thing appeared in our game. What is going on at all? What kind of changes? Well, in turn, whatever it was guys, but this is just wow. At the end, I didn't have any words left at all, but I know that there are still technical updates in the listing. I can just take and paste screenshots for you right now and finish this whole release, but of course I'll tell you that it's really awesome, what a cool beta, because there are new biomes, new blocks, new crafts, changes with archaeology. And what you understood, they added to us, the editor of Bedrock. I'm sorry. That is, if suddenly you don't know, it will appear on phones and tablets very soon, but yes, but we have added an editor, as if we are doing some cartoons or some animations, and in general we can edit absolutely any world and add, delete some buttons, copy, paste, without structural blocks. What's going on anyway? And it certainly deserves a separate issue, because to show you these few seconds is certainly cool, but it's still 15 or 20 minutes to deal with this editor. In fact, it's very easy to run it, and then I'll tell you how to do it. But this is how these updates are, so game events, components and data, commands, then add-ons, some scripts, filters, entities, blocks, a trading platform, servers, experimental buttons, APIs, and a whole bunch of other interesting buttons that can be found down there in the description is simple. Just follow the link on the official listing and read everything you need, because it's really a very big beta. If you shoot it completely, then it's probably about 40 minutes of the video. Well, as it is, I showed you the most interesting and the most fun that we were able to discuss today. I'll give it to you, I don't even know what to say, it was very hard and at the same time very cool. Well, no matter how sad it all sounds guys, but this is our issue really coming to an end, because it was a new version of Minecraft 1.1980.20, and as always, be sure to put your likes, write comments, subscribe to the channel, yes, for some reason before they haven't done it yet. There are a lot of interesting buttons of Minecraft Bedrock. As always, there are secrets, riddles, tips, differences of the new version, in short, a lot of interesting hip content that will certainly not be superfluous in subscriptions. Well, as always, you can update to the latest version of this 1.1980.20 by following the links at the bottom of the description. You can also find a link to the official listing there. You will really find a lot of interesting information there that I missed because, well, for the review, I just missed it, but it will be really interesting for myself. Well, good luck, we'll hear from you again. See you soon.